All right, what's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in and welcome back to the Crypto Remora. My name's Wes, and I'm with, as always, Siri Crypto. What's up, Siri?
What's up, man? How we doing?
Doing good, brother. Doing good, man. Got a few things to talk about. First, we're going to be going over, as always, the Bitcoin price analysis and where we see the price headed, and actually what's moving the markets right now. Kind of boring, but we're going to look into it, see what's going on. We had the Bitcoin Miami conference over the weekend. Who was there? We weren't. Maybe we'll be there next year. I don't know, but we're going to be pushing towards that. Hopefully, we can stream from there next year. But who was there? A lot of people. We're going to talk about that, any kind of announcements that they had, and give you an update on what's going on in the crypto world. If that sounds good, you know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get it. Sierra, where'd you say they were having the Bitcoin conference next year? You said they already talked about that, right?
Yeah. So if you go to the website, I was just doing a little bit of research on it because there was a lot of FUD because they said less people were showing up this year, and I
Yeah, it
mean
was like by half, right?
about half the people from last
Yeah.
year. So people were, if you Google search it, you're going to see a lot of negative FUD, but that's big shocker. I mean, we're in a bear market. We're in the last year of a bear market,
Yep.
and last year you had FTX had FTX Arena and all. The mayor was going to start paying taxes with Bitcoin. They had the
Yeah.
Bitcoin bull out front. So they moved the bull. The bull was gone as soon as you got there. So they said no bull out front. That was the first thing they noticed. The west wing of the conference center was closed.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of negativity going on if you actually search it. Which whatever, they've already decided to move it to Nashville. So Bitcoin 2024 will be in Nashville next year. Which
Yeah.
me and you were talking about this off screen. I think it's absolutely bullish because people are so asleep at the wheel right now. Like
Yeah.
this is, and we've talked about this a million times on this channel. This is your last chance before the next halving. The next
Yeah.
halving is in code. So it's not about a hype cycle. It's not about a company. It's not about a Sam Bankman. This is Bitcoin's about to do what it does next year.
Yeah.
And when that happens, if you're not bullish on it, you're not following the science of the code that's written into Bitcoin. It's literally the miners' rewards get cut in half. It's making it half as scarce as it already is. I mean, Bitcoin's already scarce. But now
Yeah.
you're talking about cutting the rewards that the miners get directly in half again. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
this is a major thing. This is like every 4 years is when this happens. And if you're not familiar with it, I would suggest looking up the Bitcoin halving and doing a little bit of research, you guys, because this is really is a big deal. And the fact they moved it to Nashville, I think is good because they're underestimating it, and they're going to go to a smaller venue versus Miami, I'm sure, because Miami is huge. The
Yeah.
conference center is huge, and they said it felt really open and wide open. There was less gimmicks and stuff. I mean, me personally, I'm not at the point where I want to spend $2,000 on a ticket. You
Yeah.
know, if I'm going to spend $1,000 or $2,000, it's not going to be on a ticket to Bitcoin conference. It's going to be to buy more Bitcoin, especially in a bear market. So
Right.
that's just where I'm at. No hate towards all the other influencers that were there. I mean, I would go there if I was in a position to be able to do that. Really, so I'm not knocking them, but yeah, for smaller whales and plebs or whatever, it's you get to see exactly what went down on the
Yeah.
conference. Just YouTube it, and you can see people, going down the slide and then riding the slow mechanical bull. And I'm like, yeah, Michael Saylor. Watching Michael Saylor would be cool. And meeting some of those guys, and
Yeah.
Crypto Zombie was there. It's like, so for those reasons, that's kind of cool. Like that would be worth getting a ticket for me.
Right.
All the other gimmicky stuff, I could do without all that stuff. I mean, it's cool, but it's not $1,000, $2,000 cool.
Yeah.
That's just my thoughts on it. But like you said, maybe next year,
Maybe next
bull
year.
market turns around, and
Yeah.
maybe things could change. But yeah, so what do you think about the them moving the venue to Nashville? Do you think that is
I think. I mean, I think
bearish?
it's. Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's good because you're moving it more, different people. The people that are already going are going to go anyways, no matter where it is. But if you move it, you know, in certain areas where people wouldn't normally go, or where, cryptocurrency is used less, like they're targeting different areas of the country, I think it's smart, man, cuz if you have it in, out west or up north or every single year, then it's hard for people like us that do live in the South and that are on the East Coast to make it out there. Sure, we might have a ticket, but half of the battle is, getting a plane, going there, getting a hotel, renting the hotel. It's just a lot of money. So I think them moving the venue, I think it's a good thing, man. Hopefully we'll be able to get there sometime. But I'm like you, man. All the other stuff, man, the little gimmicks and the bull riding and the activities. I wouldn't want to go for that. I would just like to go there to network and meet some of these people in real life, man, that we've followed closely so much. But I do want to, before we kind of get into the Bitcoin price chart, man, I do kind of want to talk about the 4-year cycle. I think that a lot of people, they have a misconception about the 4-year cycle, and I was just gonna get your opinion on it. The miners' rewards get cut in half, but what else is it that kind of pushes the price up, man? Is it like a supply squeeze? Like, is it a lack of supply but more demand? Is it just a basic supply and demand thing, or is it just simply the miners get their rewards cut?
So another or every time another 210,000 blocks are added to the blockchain
Yeah.
is technically when the halving occurs, but it's roughly every 4 years is what they're saying.
Yeah.
Basically, cutting the rewards to the miners is like increasing competition. So, so in other words, the bigger, better, faster, more efficient mining equipment, and the more mining rigs that they have, it's like the old miners can't
Yeah.
compete with the newer miners. In other words,
It's gonna drown some people out, huh?
yeah, exactly. What it is, it's like cutting out the weak miners, and now it's only going to be the strongest that are actually going to be able to sustain. And you see this all the time during like the bear market the last 2 years or whatever. You've seen a lot of this stuff go on where these guys are actually taking loans out on their
Yeah.
on their
Yeah.
equipment, right?
Doing leverage, yeah.
But the beautiful thing about that is their conviction level. It's like they're so convicted to what they're doing that they're willing to do this. Like, hey, I'm willing to put my equipment on the line because I know that the price is going to go. It's
Yeah.
like, yes, you've got you. I think it's a combination of all of those things, right? It's a combination of you've got mass adoption slowly happening, right? You've got senators and politicians starting to run presidential campaigns
Yeah.
by going to the Bitcoin conference. So, yeah, there was less people there, but that shows you how important crypto's going to be in the next couple years
Yeah.
and even in the next year. So, I think it's a combination of the mining equipment gets outdated, the computers and the slower mining rigs are starting to get phased out. So it's like the big boys are competing. So that's one reason. But the second reason, like I said, is that S curve adoption where the masses are slowly starting to adopt it. So you have
Yeah.
it, and now we have what we did the video on a couple weeks ago, the banking crisis, right? So you just have in 2024 elections, no matter if you're right or left, it doesn't even matter. This is going to be a massive, massive year in the U.S. to
Yeah.
see whoever wins the White House. I don't care
Right.
which side you're on. It's going to be a bloodbath either way. And
Right.
and we know that that's coming. All the Americans are sitting on edge. We kind of know it's
Yeah.
going to be a big deal. But accountability and fairness on the blockchain is another thing. It's like, everyone's tired of seeing, crooked politicians and crooked governments playing around with people's money and rates and moving stuff and crashing
Yeah.
stuff and breaking stuff. And with Bitcoin, you can't really do that. And I think the fact that we saw the politicians going out of their way to go to the Bitcoin conference, man, I mean, dude.
Yeah, I thought that
That's
was
a
pretty cool, man.
huge deal because it's
Yeah.
not only showing that they're accepting crypto now, like okay, we're open to it. It's showing that if you don't get on this train soon, this train's going to run you over.
Yeah.
So it's the foreshadowing to that, and I think the people and the politicians that are running, I think the ones that are pro crypto are going to make their lives much easier.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a combination of all those things. But roughly, the reward getting cut in half for miners increases competition by 200%
Yeah.
because you can't play around anymore. Little Jimmy can't set up his rig in his bedroom anymore and be
Yeah.
efficient. To you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah. Gotcha.
so.
I got you, man. Real quick, we definitely want to talk about the Bitcoin Miami and some of the people that were there. Before we do that, let's just take a quick look at some of these charts and where we think the price is headed. What are you seeing right now? What kind of levels are you looking at? It's been kind of boring, just kind of sideways, man. The last 10 days we've been just kind of in this range right here, but I see that we're starting to come to the end of that little range, and we're running out of space. The trading volume's down.
Yes.
The volatility is down, and a lot of traders, when you're in a range like that, consolidating, and you start running out of room, it's gonna be they're expecting a big price movement. So that's what I'm looking at. What are you seeing?
I think you're right about that. I think the consolidation, the market makers have bled this range out between, whatever. We're at 27. I mean, even if you look at the short top we had on the roughly on the 1 year chart, we kind of poked our head up around 30,000 at one time, and then we were, back down to where we at 26.8 at the time of recording. But I don't know if you see it on the 1 year chart. It's kind of easier to make out on the 1 year. It almost looks like a little falling wedge, man. If that's a falling wedge, we're at the very end of it too. Like there's like you said, there's no more room to go. And if you extrapolate that price move from the flagpole to that rising wedge, you're talking about the equivalent of a move from 20,000 to 27,000. You're talking about a potential $7,000 or $8,000 breakout to the upside, which would put us, if we break out and go to the upside, that would put us up around $35,000, $36,000 Bitcoin. Now, is that going to happen? I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, but I will tell you this: that falling wedge is clearer and clearer by the day on the 1 year chart. I know it's it's a yearly chart, but the overall formation of it, it's not quite there because you have one little leg in the beginning that kind of dips below it. But I'm telling you what, man, they're running out of room to trade around this price mark, and I don't think anyone. I think all the weak hands have already dropped out, man. Like the weak hands have got to have been shooken out. So my high side is 36,000 ish, between 35 and 36,000 for a breakout to the upside. My downside has not really changed. My downside is still 24,300. $25,000. If we go down, I don't see us breaking below that. If we do, it's not even worth arguing over. Like between 20 and 25,000, like who cares? I don't really care if it's between 20 and 25,000 on Bitcoin. In 3 years from now, no one's going to give a crap about that. Be like, yeah, I didn't buy Bitcoin because it was $26,000. I waited till it went to 24,000. Like that difference is not going to matter in 3 years from now. As long as you're scooping and hodling coins you believe in right now, I think you're making a good move. And let's see, man. Like, what do you think? Do you see that? Do you see that falling wedge that I'm talking about?
I'm on the year chart with the daily candlesticks, and I see the falling wedge pattern that you're talking about. So definitely expecting a breakout from that. I was just on the 4 hour, and I think right now, man, there's a lot of bearish sentiment. Even with the Bitcoin conference, man, there's a lot of bearish sentiment. We're on the short term, on the 4 hour, like I said, we're kind of consolidating, running out of that room. But if you're looking for short-term patterns, this looks like a, starting from May 5th until now. You can see we put that leg down, and then we're kind of consolidating sideways. That could push us back down to 25,000. Technically, that's a a bear flag. If you're zooming in, if you're a daily trader, I don't day trade, so I kind of ignore some of this FUD. But for the day traders out there, I'm kind of expecting a leg down, hit that 25, and maybe start popping back up. And like I said, the volatility is reducing. We're running out of space, and a lot of people are expecting for a big price movement. So, on the 24-hour, we're under the 200 EMA, so we need to get above that. But yeah, I definitely see us kind of range bound, man, in the near future. Being boring and until up to the halving, man. I feel like we never got that boring sideways. Like if you look at the 4-year cycles and you zoom out and you see, like last year we came down, we hit the bottom, and we started coming back up like we've already done, came back up 50%, and then we started going sideways, and then there was that COVID crash. So if you kind of take that black swan event out of the charts and you look at it, like, dude, we go sideways after coming back up 50%. We go sideways for like almost a year, man. So I don't know, man. I'm kind of anticipating it to go sideways for up until the halving. I don't really think we're gonna push up above 50K if that says anything. We might not drop below 20,000, but we are getting some buyers, some support from buyers at these levels. People are still interested, man. They're still buying. So if they, keep the momentum up, definitely push up to, back around at 30,000 level. But if the sellers keep their momentum, then yeah, I can see the 25K playing out. I remain cautious. Like I said, I'm not a day trader. I kind of ignore this, the noise in between, and just being patient, man. I like to keep an eye on the S&P 500 too. What that's doing, the DXY. I like to, watch the DXY, what the dollar's doing. But other than that, man, like, it's a good level, man. I'm buying, dude. I'm just DCAing every week, dude. I feel good about it.
Now that you say something, I zoomed out and I was trying to see what you're talking about on the one. It's roughly on. No, I'm on the max chart, but what I'm seeing now is. It's calling out that 23.8, which let's just call it 24,000, just for the sake of argument.
Right.
It's like if you zoom out to the maximum chart, you don't see a definitive line of support or resistance at 25,000. It's not really there.
No, there's a range. That's why I like using ranges, man. Yeah. Yeah,
the range you're talking about is like that 24. But if you go to the max chart and you see where we came down, we crashed. And from the big run, when we hit 69K at the top, at the very top, and then we had all the way down till about June of 2022, when we fell all the way there, you can see we went down further, right? We came down to 16,000, then we went all the way up to 30,000. So at this point, I'm with you because I see obviously $30,000 is our number to beat. That's our resistance to get above, and we know we're probably not going to go back down to 16,000. So if you chop those numbers in half and you look at the dead center of that, I love to do that because with charting, that's what Fibonacci levels is. Your 618 level is 61, 0.618 or whatever.
Yeah.
It's roughly, it's not dead on, but it's roughly half. So if you go up, a normal correction is going to be you're going to come back half down. So if you go up to 30,000 like we just did and we're coming back down to 26, I'm looking at that range potentially like you said for a whole year. We could go we could range between 20,000 and 30,000 for a couple more months, man, and that would probably bore the crap out of people.
Yeah, dude. A lot of people are going to get out, man. And what sucks is it'll be right towards the end. You'll start seeing people dropping like flies, dude. Like, forget this, dude. I'm not, like, this is pointless to be in. Yep. And then as soon as they, capitulate and they sell and they get out of crypto, that's when the market's going to, return back to its bullish, state.
Yeah, and just a
And
side
it
note
sucks. Yeah.
on that, that is actually a tactic, guys. So
Yeah.
me and Wes saying this is not like some made up manipulation thing. Look,
Yeah.
market makers, their job is
They
to
want to
get
bore you.
you out of your Bitcoin, right, and put it in the hands of the wealthy. The wealthy have a couple tricks that they can do that. One of them is FUD, okay, negative stuff on the news. That's one trick they can use to get you to sell your
Yep.
Bitcoin. Another one
Absolutely.
is to bore the ever living hell out of you, right? And make the market just kind of look like it's dead and doing nothing. And meanwhile, they're accumulating in small amounts because they don't want to push the
Yep.
price high. They have a lot of money to buy, but if they buy it on the exchanges, it's going to violently shove the price up, and they don't want to do that. So, FUD, which we saw last year with FTX and all this crap, that was a orchestrated event. I'm still saying it was orchestrated so that the powers that be can scoop more Bitcoin. I
Yeah.
still believe that, but if even if you don't believe that, the market
Yeah.
makers still are trending sideways even right now,
They just want to bore you out.
and they're going to bore you out. So don't
Yep.
don't let that happen, guys. You hate to be holding for the last 2 years,
Yeah.
right? And then
And then
hold
get
all
out.
the way up, but right before the halving, and then sell. It's like
Yeah.
one of the guys I work with. He's like, I'm done with crypto. I'm like,
Yeah.
I told
If
him,
anything, it gives you more time to accumulate, man. So
yeah,
that's what we're taking advantage of. We don't want to miss this next bull run. So
yeah.
that,
Don't be emotional either. Like if you're
mm,
saying, well, I'm done with crypto, you're
hmm
being emotional. You're not using longer term strategy. You're not buying something with conviction. Your
yeah.
butt hurt because the price isn't doing what you want it to do, and that's your emotion. So don't
Yeah.
do that.
So let's jump into the Bitcoin Miami real quick. There were a few announcements, not much, man, but one thing that we kind of wanted to cover is the Robert Kennedy. He is a Democrat, and he is a candidate for the presidential nominee. So he has pledged to defend Americans' rights to acquire crypto, and he's also when he went up on stage, he detailed his intentions to legalize Bitcoin mining and exempt taxes in America. And this is the opposite of the Biden administration. They wanted to do a 30% tax on Bitcoin mining and push people out of the country. Like, if I will say this, man, no matter what party you agree with, something that's important that we need to pay attention to is where they stand on crypto and are they accepting of crypto. And I think that's that carries a lot of weight with me, man. Like, you can be a Democrat, you can be whatever you want, Republican, I don't care, but I would like to get somebody in there pro crypto, man. Somebody that's gonna accept the technology, allow miners to mine, and I think this is huge, man. This is very huge for a presidential candidate to be pro crypto, as far as I'm concerned. But if we do get somebody in there, it'll be a positive impact on crypto businesses in America. So that's what I'm looking at, man. How do you feel about that, dude? Like, without getting too political, is that something that's gonna kind of sway your way of who you're gonna vote for?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, look, the whole problem that Bitcoin was invented to solve was
Yeah.
due to the shenanigans that goes on with our government and the way they're just printing money nonstop. Is like that's what makes the dollar lose its value. That's why you have inflation. That's why they flood the market with dollar bills. And then we had COVID crash, and then they flooded even more money out
Even
there. And
more.
it's like, so at some point, it's like, yeah, I mean, you got to stop kicking the can down the street and just say, all right, look, we got to do something as Americans. And I agree with you, man. It doesn't matter left or right. The
Yeah.
responsible thing to do, and the freedom element. Let's not forget the freedom element of being an American citizen,
Yeah.
right? If you have the right to buy Bitcoin and hold, they don't care if you go buy lottery tickets. You know how many
Right.
times I see people in line that are spending their last couple of bucks on a stupid lottery ticket that their chances are one
Right.
in 6 million to win, and they're basically throwing their money away.
Yeah.
And it's like
But these are government. Isn't that's a state-run thing though, right? So they're making money on the lottery, and of course,
Hand over
like
fist, yeah, they're killing
right,
it.
and of course they're gonna try to propose. I will say Biden, with this 30% tax on it. Like they don't, they just want to make money on it, and I don't think it's right, man. I think they need to have, a sweet medium. Like they need to figure it out and figure it out quick, or we are gonna lose a ton of businesses, moving out of the states and going other places.
Yeah, and that's not good for America to
It's not
be a leader in the technological
innovation. Yep.
innovation over the last 10, 20 years, and
Yep.
now when crypto is the most innovative out of all of it, right?
Yep.
AI and crypto are the two biggest forces of the future when it comes to tech as
Yeah.
of right now, and you're talking about throwing away half of it to China and Russia and all these other countries that are going to
Yeah.
embrace it. Even Iran, dude. Even Iran and Pakistan are like starting to open up to freaking crypto. It's like, yeah, you're not going to be able to survive if you shun crypto much longer. And it's good either way to see, Tulsi Gabbard out there. I particularly like what she has to say more than most of them. Cynthia Loomis was pretty good with her speech,
Yeah.
but you know, um, like we said, it doesn't matter who you're going to vote for necessarily. It's what really matters is you're an American citizen. Do you want your freedom? Do you want to keep
Yeah.
getting robbed of your freedoms? Do you want to keep letting the government have more money so they can tell you more stuff that you're not allowed to do? And it's like
Yeah.
that's where I'm going to be voting.
Yeah,
Is more
and
on
you
the
under
freedom
and you can
side.
see, like, you can tell the ones that actually understand the technology, man. The ones that don't understand it are the ones that are against it. If they understand the technology and they actually take the time to learn what it is and what it does and how you use it, like, they would be pro crypto. But a lot of them don't understand it, man, and they don't even want to take the time to learn about it. Real quick, also this Tether thing, man. Putting 15% of its profits into Bitcoin. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I did. I heard something about that the other
Now
day.
you
It's like,
remember who did that last time? It was Terra Luna that did that last time
yes,
when they
yes.
remember. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
you're having that flashbacks of war pain right there. Yeah, but the thing is that Tether FUD and the Binance FUD has been regurgitated for the last 4 years, and I don't know when or if it's going to ever happen where Binance or CZ is going to get in trouble or Tether's going to get come after by the
Yeah.
DOJ, which DOJ was already after them supposedly, or not DOJ. I'm sorry, the New York Attorney General, I think. Anyway, she went hard after Tether. There's
Yeah.
still an open investigation, so it's not like
Yeah.
it's done, But I got my bankruptcy notice from BlockFi saying, "Oh, by the way, which luckily I pulled all my stuff out before that happened.
Yeah.
But I was using their staking service on my Bitcoin. And I was getting, earning percentage of rewards on my Bitcoin. Now all of a sudden, FTX and Gensler saying, "Oh, well, you can't stake. You can't, It's
Right.
like, so they send me a letter in the mail saying, bankrupt. It's like, that's the kind of crap I'm tired of. It's like, come
Yeah.
on, man. Like, just
Yeah.
people gambling with over leveraged stuff, businesses doing it, over leveraged, and then it gives, crypto a bad name. It gives Bitcoin a bad name. And it's almost
Yeah.
like they're doing it on purpose to try to give Bitcoin and crypto a bad name so that the
Yeah.
masses stay fearful of it and don't adopt it so that they
Yeah.
can scoop more of it up.
Yeah, it's
And
gonna happen either way, man. Whether they want it to or not. I like this Tether buying Bitcoin, the 15% of their profits into buying Bitcoin. I think that's great. I think a lot more people, a lot more businesses should look into doing that, or companies or whatever should look into doing that, even if it's only like 1%,
Oh, yeah.
of their funds. Like, this is a great idea, and I think with Tether, they need that to kind of back what they're doing. So
It
I
ain't
like
gonna
it.
hurt them. Yeah, it's not gonna hurt
It's
them.
not gonna hurt them, and from what I understand, dude, they're doing it. They're doing it off the exchanges too, man. They're a lot of places will do it under the counter, but yeah, they said they're supposed to be doing it on spot, so should be cool, man. Hopefully that'll push the price up. But yeah, it definitely gave me some flashbacks some flashbacks of Terra Luna, man. So just be careful, guys. I just wanted to throw that out there. I do like that though.
But yeah, overall, man, I think Bitcoin conference having people running for the presidential office that are going out of their way, even to see a small percentage of the population, but that population is 100% in crypto. I
Yeah.
think that was absolutely bullish, and it was exciting to see, even if
Very
it was
cool to see.
even if it didn't make mainstream news or whatever. I don't even care. It's like
Right.
that was still pretty good to see them coming around. I think it's bullish overall, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Anything else you'd like to talk about or go over before we head out?
No, I think just let everybody know that we are going to be working on getting some more videos about actual individual projects. Me and
Yep.
Wes were kind of talking about that because we didn't want to keep cramming everything into one video because
One
it makes it
video.
a little much. So we are reformatting, restructuring the channel a little bit, guys. We appreciate you being patient with us while we're doing that. We're trying to get everything just to flow a little smoother for you so we can put better content out. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, we want to have our weekly video, but we also we're so passionate about some of these projects, especially ones on Arbitrum, and we want to talk about those too. So, instead of fighting ourselves, we're going to try to help ourselves and open up some room for more videos. So, yeah. Be on the lookout for some great content. Is that it?
That's it, man. We'll wrap it up.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And until next time, much love to the Arbonauts. Till next time, peace out.
Yeah.